Today we have a game of the Grutos himself, Morose playing offlane, and it was a very nice game. I wanted to select it because it has some very incredible engaging team fights, and that kind of show you what you can do with the character when you have full mastery of it. As usual, we start with the build order and items. So build order, we start with double pain to get a little bit of trade. Here he was facing a Grux, a mirror matchup in the offlane. Then we go for the crush to kind of knock up. Then we get the smash and grab. And then we go for starting maxing the double pain. In terms of abilities priority, it's the exact same way. Of course, we max the ultimate first into double pain, into crush, into smash and grab. In terms of itemization, we go for the judgment, and then like here we have the Sky Splitter into Bonso, into Gaia Greaves. Gaia Greaves and Bonso allow you to stick to target and also like chase like that little couple meters you might be missing. Like the Gaia Greaves is very good at that. And here we have gone for the Draconum. That is normally not really core, but here Morose was pretty far ahead in the match and wanted to get like more sustain to be able to kind of 1v3 in many situations. And then the Absolution actually like a super strong item that we don't see that much at lower level, but at top level it's like an incredible staple, simply because like it's a very good damage item, like the physical power, the attack speed, but also like getting 25% damage mitigation and 40% movement speed when you get immobilized makes those bruiser like very strong and hard to stop by when the cooldown is up. Let's jump into the game. Morose, the Grutos, playing his signature character here, and he's facing against another Grux, so it's gonna be a mirror match. Mainly I selected that match not so much for the laning phase, but more for the team fight. Still, laning phase was interesting. As we can see here, we're just trying to trade. We don't really want the wave to push early on, because that means that you expose yourself, but every time we trade, we want to trade. And you can see here how Morose like try to get like always like one more auto attack in. And here we can see the Kalari is coming. Morose is looking to get the wards in, and the Kalari is here, so immediately he's gonna flash away. And then instead of walking to towers, he tried to walk toward his Sevrog, because the Sevrog was around, and now that's gonna help him like survive. If the Sevrog wasn't around, it was probably a dead Morose, but still, like, I love the reaction here. Like, first he go immediately for the warding, and then he also like flash immediately, doesn't wait for the last moment because otherwise it doesn't matter. And then like as soon as he realized he cannot get to the tower, he actually like go for his jungler that was like around. Here I'm not really sure what this Kalari is doing, like staying around like that, but she's losing a lot of time to not get ahead while the Sevrog managed to get the kill. So overall she should have like invaded or get like a more tempo on the map. And so here though, Morose still have to be careful because the Kalari was around. Here you can see like he doesn't even step up, but he get the level 2 first because like the Grux die. And so now we're gonna go like for the aggression before these Grux get the level 2. And now you can actually like trade if you want. Like the Grux goes in, but now like Morose know that he can like fully trade because he has the full wave. And now this Grux like made a big mistake. And so yeah, it's very close, but it's still like to the advantage, and now we can crash the wave. If the Kalari is coming back, the most important thing here for Morose is that the wave crash on the tower. Here he's gonna stay, try to clear as fast as he can, and see, you can see like the Kalari is coming here, but Morose doesn't really care, and he's gonna fight inside the wave. And now like the Kalari is actually like in a very tough spot, and that's something you can do also like against like this type of like jungler, is fight into the big wave, because early on being in the big wave, and here we're gonna try to go for the grab, the auto attack. Kalari is at 1 HP, we're trying to find the kill, and we force at least the Kalari to go away. And so this whole situation, even if Morose ended up dying from the Kalari, the most important thing was to try to crash the wave. That's why like Morose doesn't walk away for 2 reasons. First, he wants to finish to clear the wave, so the wave crash, so even if he dies, he doesn't lose much, because then the wave gonna bounce back, and the wave was so big that the bounce back gonna be pretty big. But at the same time, fighting inside the wave means that first you get the damage of the wave on the Kalari, but also that means that it's harder to hit you because you are surrounded by minions. And so that's something you can do. And here you can see the wave is bouncing back. It doesn't really want to step up because like the Kalari was coming like many times. And so here we're just gonna clear like the teal buff. We're not gonna lose much on the main wave simply because the wave is gonna like come back. Here we dodge like the E, and here we're gonna probably like look at some damage, and then we got Sevrog rotating. Grux probably doesn't have flash because from like the early gank, and that's gonna be like a free gank here. So here we're gonna like try to catch the wave. Wave is very, very close to crash on the tower, but this time, as you can see, like that was a gank from the Calari, but not on the timing that the wave is actually like in a bad spot for Morose. So here minion kind of ignore Morose, so like we're not gonna manage to get like the full freeze. Sometimes the artificial intelligence of like the minion are a little bit weird in Predecessor. But here you can see like here the gank of the Sevrog was on the perfect timing because that was when the wave was actually like could have been frozen if the AI didn't like fully like bugged out in a sense. Maybe it's not bugged out, but I think it's very, very hard to control. And that means that now it's going to put like more super forehead on top of the kill. So that's something you also have to consider when you are a jungler, when you are ganking, and what is the goal to how to really set up the wave for your teammates. And so here, as usual, now we have like a wave that is starting to stack. As we can see, we have 4 range minion plus a cannon. So we're gonna like try to stack all those waves to be able to have like a nice crash. And after the nice crash, we get like an easy reset. And the Grux like here is doing the 5 camp, it seems, in the jungle. So even like starving a little bit the jungler that didn't have like a very good early game. And so here you see like the wave is pretty big. The next wave is arriving. It's gonna be like very, very easy to crash. And so that means that even if the jungler is around, you actually like don't stay super, super long nearby. Because like wave is very, very easy to crash because it's pretty big. And even if the jungler come, you have like huge amount of wave. So yeah, you expose yourself, but not for a long time and to like the maximum benefit you can have. So here you can see we crash the wave. There is nothing to be found in that lane anymore. Like that's a mistake I see a lot of people do in the dual lane, in the mid lane, in the off lane. Is like once they crash the wave, they kind of like stay there and look at the guy that is on their tower farming. No, take this advantage to create some space on the map. And here we can see Morose didn't find anything to do in the jungle, so he simply has gone for the river buff. And now he's coming back to the lane and he still have like the level advantage, so he's gonna try like to catch the guy, little jump to get slightly more range onto the E, and then we just wait for the E. We don't smash and grab immediately. And here we're waiting, we get the flash for the double plane, and that's the thing. Like here, we know that if we keep like auto-attacking, it can be like dangerous. So more like step back, wait for the double plane to be out of cooldown, and then we just like flash double plane. And that's another kill, and that's simply like understanding that we got the level 6 tech advantage of it, and we don't like overspend our resources. Like the critical moment here was to expect that the Grux was going for the crush to kind of create distance, and so you have to keep the smash and grab to be able to stay and bring him back to the melee range of yourself. And so now we got the chill buff, we go for the reset, we probably have enough to finish the Sky Splitter, and so now like we're actually like in a super, super commanding position. So once again, we have like a little bit of offlane diff, but initially like all of that has been created also by like a good way of resisting to the early gank pressure. And actually like he got ganked like 2 times before his Sevrog come to the lane, and Morose survived both of the time. One time thanks to the Sevrog starting blue side, of course. But overall, like, that creates a very, very strong advantage for him. So we're gonna advance. Like now that the Sky Splitter is finished, the enemy Grux can in no way actually like contest Morose for a while. So Morose is gonna like take it slow. And maybe like when we get like a good crash, we can maybe like rotate for the Fang Tooth or try to like create priority for the Mini Prime. Like as you can see, like the enemy Grux has just like placed a ward onto the Mini Prime. So that's something that the Grux is doing correctly. Understanding that he's not at the advantage on the lane, so he's trying to get vision for his team. That's very well played because he's never going to be in a position that he can actually like walk before Morose to the Mini Prime if Morose like don't let him. So it's important to keep the vision for his teammate. And once again, like we try to deny it as much CS as we can. CS creep score, like it's the last hit you get. And as you can see, like Morose is not like shoving wave after wave. Here you can see like we're already like denied 2 melee range from that wave. And that's once again, the idea is that we deny CS, but also once we want to crash the wave, we actually like here we can see we can go like super fast because like here, the enemy Grux then like kind of step up, and he shouldn't step up because the damage is way too much. He should have accepted that Morose is gonna crash that wave and then just farm on the tower, but not because he's that low, because he step up and he didn't respect that. Like no, Morose can get like a lot of damage on the tower. And well, we use also like the Warlord's challenge to try to apply some pressure, but that means we have like no mana, and so now Morose can like get this tower if he wants on the next push. So that's something also, like when you're on the back foot and you're actually like losing a lot, you have to understand what is your like window of play. And here Morose just want to hard crash the wave to go for a rotation somewhere maybe, or like just like invade the jungle, and as the enemy Grux you cannot really contest that, so you shouldn't have step up. You just like accept that he's gonna crash the wave, and then you try to crash clear the double wave as fast as you can. But here he used all his spell on like a half a wave, which means for the next wave he's kind of stuck, and also he's gonna take a lot of damage in return, which it resulted in the end he's forced back to base. Morose still have time to invade the 5 camp, Morose get the tower, and now has like a humongous priority to go for the mini prime. And this whole situation, like of course Morose was ahead, but by trying to do like the wrong window of play on the side of the enemy Grux, in the end we end up losing like 5 camp, a mini prime, and also a tower. Like that's a lot. Probably tower would be close to gone, but maybe we don't have that much pressure, and that's simply because like, yeah, we said like, oh, he used like a smash and grab, I can like step up. No, you cannot. So now Morose got the mini prime, probably gonna look to crash one more wave. He's like still super healthy, like he's full health. He still have like pretty decent amount of mana. He's sitting onto the crest, so that's something that maybe he's looking for, but maybe he want to one-shot his next item, which I assume is gonna be the Bonso. And so here we're still like trying to invade the jungle. As you can see, like here Morose is now in full control of this left side, and here we see that the Kalari is here, and here Morose is gonna arrive from behind. Ooh, he actually like missed the E, but we're gonna get the grab plus the auto attack, and now this Kalari is getting killed. And now we're gonna go back to base because I think we have enough gold for the Bonso while also completing the crest. And so here at 12 minutes 30 we're gonna get the judgment help for the sustain. So a little tip I learned from Morose itself while watching his stream is Morose tried to wait as long as he can, but we're gonna like, ooh, a nice flash into Warlord challenge and good combo with the crush, and here that's like him simply winning this fight for his team. Like, and that's something you can look for as a Grux. Like one of the strongest engage of Grux is like the flash Warlord challenge into like chain CC, and here he find like 3 people, and that's something you can do. Like as you can see, the enemy Grux is not really like pushing, so Morose try to impact the rest of the map, and so his rotation offered the first Fangtooth, and now with the mini prime he's applying pressure on the tier 1 tower in mid lane. But yeah, I was talking about the judgment, and so that's something that Morose like kind of teach me is when he's fighting and he has the ultimate, he kind of wait for the last moment to actually activate the judgment. The reasoning is, with Warlord challenge, every time you do an auto attack or a double pain, you're actually stealing physical power from your opponent, which means your own physical power go up. And so if you wait for the judgment, first you kind of have like a baiting aspect because people think you're gonna die, but you actually like get a lot of health back thanks to the regen aspect of the judgment. But also that means that you're not gonna add more damage and regen more because you have more physical power thanks to the physical power you have stolen with the Warlord challenge. So a little neat trick to do, and that sometimes like really surprise people, and they're like, wow, this Grux has 1 HP but he never dies. That could be one of the reasons with like perfect use and good timing of the judgment. So as you can see, he has impacted like the rest of the map like quite tremendously, but he still come back on time because the Grux is too scared to actually like hard push, and so Morose come back to collect like the wave that was under his tower. And now we're gonna look at the teal buff once again, and there is not much to do on the map here right now, so like rotation and stuff not really like useful except if you're looking to get like some shutdowns, but shutdowns are never really guaranteed. As you can see, like on the dual lane it seems to be like kind of problematic, so we're gonna keep like trying to get more pressure on this side of the map. Ooh, the Grux is here, and we're gonna go Warlord challenge immediately, and then we're gonna like follow up, and this Grux, like unless he has flash, cannot really like go away, and we're gonna get the grab Judgment waited. You can see how he waited for the judgment. He didn't use it at the beginning of the fight. He just like wait for quite a long time before he triggers it. But I love also is one thing that Morose is very proficient at. Like his nickname, the Grutus, is not without merit. It's just like here the best ability to use to start this fight, and he didn't see the Grux really walking to him because like the wave was gone, was to start with the Warlord challenge. And he used like the right ability always, and that's a very important point because sometimes if you use the wrong ability, that's the difference between a kill or like someone surviving, or also sometimes if you use the wrong ability, like instead of using Warlord challenge, you use the crush, suddenly that could be your death instead of actually like winning a team fight. So as Grux, you need to really think about like which ability you use. Here, pretty straightforward, nothing really like out of this world, but if you want to clear the wave as fast as you can, use smash and grab into Judgment double pane. That way you group all the minions all together, and that means your double pane like eat all the minions of the wave and the judgment as well, which means you clear the fastest. And that way you can like increase your tempo. The faster you clear, the more more time you have to impact the map. You also like increase the farm you get because you take less time to come back to lane, and so all of that kind of snowball out of control. So something that is very important to do is like how to maximize the speed of our clear. And since here like the enemy Grux is not really like playing, so what Morose wants is like to keep shoving wave but as fast as he can, so he can rotate and impact the map, like invade the jungle, finish items if he wants, like this type of thing. Here as you can see, he shoved the lane. And probably here we're looking at finishing the Gaia Greaves to be able to rotate now towards the other side of the map, because the Fangtooth is going to respawn. Because here like staying in front of the tier 2 tower is first risky and not really like the most important things, because like his team kind of collapsing on the rest of the thing. And so here we're gonna look at finding something. The drone kind of jumped back, so unfortunately we missed the engage, but here we're gonna see he's gonna try to walk away. And in terms of itemization, like Gaia Greaves is not like a lot of damage, it's like mainly defense option, but actually like it's a very important item on Grux. Like I started to play Grux myself, and Gaia Greaves really makes a difference because this bonus of 60 movement speed when you're full stack really makes the difference between you being able to chase people and catch people, and also like make your engage like easier, and not being able to reach like the carry for instance, or like another character. So it's actually like a very important piece of equipment that really makes the life of Grux like way easier. And so here the enemy team like has gone for the mini prime. Unfortunately it wasn't like really like possible for them. The Kalari is coming, but she's slightly late, and so now we're looking at maybe like finding a fight. We still have the Kalari that is inside the pit, so we're gonna like wait, assess the situation, try to go for the smash and grab. Unfortunately we missed because we got the flash out, and here we're still looking at making something happen, but there is a little bit too much damage. We're gonna try to go on to the Kalari. We go for the crush, the Kalari is dodging, so now we have to walk away. And that's also something that the Gaia Greaves allow you, is if you don't like auto attack compared to the Galaxy Greave, you still get the movement speed bonus. And here we have the Decker that kind of catch. Now we're gonna get CC again, try to disengage, get slow, won't flash away to start to stay alive. And here like there is not much we can do in that fight, so we're gonna try to regroup, but still like kind of gonna reset. But here we have the Kalari that stay around, going a little bit too aggressively, trying to go, I don't know, I guess she got surprised by someone popping the explosive flower, and that's a free pick for Morose this time around. And here it's probably gonna be like a simple reset. Once again, like taking the risk for like here for this fight, like you see Cloudy is kind of low, Septic is a carry that is the Twin Blast, which means if we CC him we can kill it. So yeah, there is potential kill here that can be found, but at the same time you are 6-0 Grux, and even if you get the kills, there is nothing to be secure afterwards, like there is no tower. So like here going in again when you're a 6-0, when you have a huge bounty and there is not really like anything to capture, even if you win, like the risk is not really worth it. It's better to just reset, wait for the next time and another opportunity, instead of just like trying for like a nice like highlight play, because in the end, even if you trade 1-for-1, well, it's still at the advantage of the enemy team because you have a huge bounty on your head. And so that's something also that you have to realize, is playing with the amount of gold you gain from the kills. Like for those that don't know, like if you get like many kills in repetition without dying, you will get a bounty that increase. That's the new things you can see on the tab menu. You see a little bit of gold, and that's the bonus gold you offer when you get killed. And so like here, probably in the 6-0, we're offering like maybe like 300, 400 gold more, which is like equivalent to 700 gold. And that's something you don't want to offer, for instance, enemy carry, because then it makes the future team fight like harder for yourself. Here, Morose trying to get the red buff for himself. This is one thing that, of course, like when you're playing solo Q, you kind of want to eat as much as you want for yourself, but to be honest, like I feel like on a Sevrog, you really want to get like all those stacks as much as you want for your own passive, Reaper of Soul. And so like I feel like that's a little bit too selfish to try to steal that red buff from the Sevrog, and you should like let like this 5 stack for the Sevrog. They are important for him much more than it is for you for getting the red buff. And so here we're gonna go for a reset after we take the tier 2 tower, but maybe a little bit like too close. Here we're very close, but here the Calari doing very well. As you can see, she cancel like boss. We're gonna try like to get like, to the thing, get the flash. We're gonna go onto the Calari. We're gonna secure the kill, but not the Iggy get like a pretty huge shutdown to 7-0 shutdown. Here the best solution would have been like to walk more and go back to base. And here like I remember watching the Morose stream when he was playing that match, saying like, yeah, a little bit of a lazy back. To be honest, it was very close, but yeah, it was a little bit of a lazy back for when you are like 6-0, and that ended up being like the shutdown onto Morose. So now we have to wait for Morose to respawn. He's finally there. We're working towards the 4th item, and now we have the triple third Fangtus of the match respawning, and so this is probably where Morose is heading. And as you can see here, he's around. He wants to play for this triple Fangtus. He wants to be with his team. And even if you're like an offlaner, it's important that you look at the map and try to be present when your team needs you, because you probably have like one of the higher level in the game. And as you can see here, it's the case. Morose is the only level 15 in the game. And so your presence in teamfight actually are super strong. And here you can see we already like forced the flash out of the Iggy. Here we were trying to maybe if someone was around to get like the crab. Here we kind of get like push around. We're gonna try like to protect the Calari. Calari is flashing away, and fortunately so far we're not securing anything, and now we're gonna go for the Iggy, but Iggy get the epoch, and now like we're gonna get turned around. We try to go for the crush, unfortunately we miss, and now we get like killed. And that's something I realized, like if you have a lot of trouble against like a Grux, because the Grux can go on you and kill you, I realized as a mage like epoch is actually like pretty tough for Grux to deal with, because once you commit to a target as Grux, if the opposition kind of like spread themselves correctly, it's very hard to go to the next target afterwards, because most of the time you have to use your crush, you have to use your wallet challenge, and so you kind of like stuck in the middle of the fight. And if you're stuck in the middle of the fight and your target just like phase out of the fight for like 2 seconds, well, then you're most of the time a sitting duck, and it's very easy to kill you. So if you have some trouble facing a Grux, like of course in the 1v1 scenario, the epoch doesn't do anything for yourself, but in teamfight it's actually like very valuable to kind of like force the Grux to walk away from you, because the Grux cannot realistically like stand like 2 seconds just waiting for the end of your epoch if your teammates are doing stuff correctly in the team fight. So then he has to walk to someone, but it's still like probably gonna be pretty tough for him. So epoch, pretty good counter sometimes in teamfight. Here we just wait, nice colossal blow, and here you can see how we align, get the right distance. That's also something that Morose does very well, like to increase his chance of the crush connecting. He tried to get like always like this little step back, so then it's easier to land and easier to target. And so here we're gonna go once again for the flash, smash and grab, crush onto 3 people to completely zone the enemy team while his team was doing the outprime. And once again you can see like one of the biggest strengths of Grux when it comes to team fight is this little like surprise thanks to the flash. And flash wall and challenge or flash smash and grab is something that is very hard to react to, because it's so fast. And so this is where like as a Grux you also need like very good positioning most of the time, because you don't want to have to use your flash defensively as a Grux. If you have to use your flash defensively, you see like how much like surprise potential you are losing. Here we can see that we see the Calari trying to come like from the side. Here probably like Morose realized the Calari was around, probably because like there is the little portrait that appear, and so we're trying to stay here. The Calari arrived. Immediately as the Calari is inside the pit, you can see how Morose stopped DPSing the R-Prime to kill the enemy jungler, and now he's gonna try like to zone like the carry. As soon as the carry is in range, you can see like Morose was getting very low, but he understood that he can actually like survive the damage, and all he needs is one CC, then he will like turn the fight around. So this is where also you have to know your limit as a Grux and understand that like here a lot of Grux would have started to take damage and will start to walk back because like they're like, oh, I'm getting low, I'm getting killed. Well, Morose know that his E is coming out of cooldown, and as soon as his E is in range, he can turn the fight around. And because if he was walking away, he was dead 100% of the time, but because he understood that he gonna get like his spell back, now he can like actually get the kill. The Muriel ultimate on top of it like really solidified the situation, but I do believe it wasn't like needed, and he probably could have like secured a kill by himself. It would have been very close though, so maybe like the Muriel ultimate like guaranteed in the end, so it's always good to use for like this little back and forth situation. So now like the whole team kind of, there is a big portion of the team that has reset. We see the Howitzer, we see the Kira, so here I would have preferred Morose to reset like slightly earlier. That's something that Morose sometimes a little bit too eager to farm, and so now it's like a tempo down his teammate. Like the added like gold he got like from the jungle camp that he cleared were not needed because it doesn't allow him to finish any items. And so here you can see like on the minimap how far behind he is from all his teammates. So that's something that when you're on the R prime you need to be a little bit careful to not like be that far behind and not offer like a window that the enemy team can exploit, or also like not make your team like lose time on the R prime. So that's something that I still feel like Morose can improve on his gameplay. Sometimes a little bit like too farm heavy on those timing, and should like focus more on like how to get like better tempo with his teammate to clear faster and not lose any time on the map. Still, now we're with the team, so we're grouping up. We do have the Muriel that is like kind of split pushing. Muriel doesn't have ultimate, and here they do find the kill on the Sevarog, so unfortunately the Sevarog get picked up. If you split push with an all prime, you should like be extra careful to not like get picked up, because as soon as the Sevarog dies, as you can see here, the whole team has to disengage and no inhibitor can be taken. So Sevarog making a huge mistake that kind of caused the whole pressure of that all prime. And so now the team is kind of going to reset. So here Morose taking advantage of the reset timing to go back to base to get the absolution. So he get like this 5th item before the fight of the Primal Fangtus, and now he's coming back. And so that's also something that you have to understand is like find your right moment to go back and try like to force them in a sense to be able to secure that item before the next big team fight. And here you can see like having that absolution can be like a big difference. And here we're trying to grab, we get like the Iggy down, we're gonna capture also the Calari, and now like the Grux is coming, and suddenly that's gonna be like a pretty easy kill for Morose. Grux dodging the double pain, but it's not gonna be enough. Iggy survived, but probably had to use the flash away, and we ended up like securing 3 kills simply because like a good engage here with a nice smash and grab through the ledge. And as you can see, for those that don't know, when you play Grux, you can actually like pull people that are above you, and that's exactly what he does here against Rickster on the Iggy. And so now we can like push back the whole enemy team. We're kind of low, but at the same time we do have Vopa split pushing that secure like the inhibitor, and so now we're gonna secure also the inhibitor in mid, taking advantage of the fact that there is like 3 people dead. We don't have the R prime anymore, so like against an Iggy trying to finish like the core here is a little bit greedy, or we get a very nice boop that ended up like getting a kill. The core is getting kind of low, but it's still like Iggy was there. We don't have any minions anymore, no R prime, and now we're gonna get chased. We're gonna get the kill on the Calari. Calari going like pretty deep, and so here they still like want to force things, but still we do have like now the Twin Blast that is here. Twin Blast is gonna secure the kill on the Sevarog. Overall, like we see that the core is at 21%, but I still believe it wasn't correct to go for it. As we can see here, we ended up losing everyone besides Morose. So now we have to walk away, and we have like to play a 40 seconds, 50 seconds without people being around. Here we do have the Twin Blast trying to catch Morose, but... And here you can see like he back from that situation, like he reset his backs to be able to see if Septic was coming, because if Septic comes, he probably can like one-shot him. But here, that means that the enemy team has a timing to go for the Primal Fangtus. And so yeah, we got like 80% of the core down, but overall, I think here the best play would have been you go for this mid inhib, and after the mid inhib, everyone go for the Primal Fangtus and secure the Primal Fangtus. That means that you would have gotten triple Fangtus, you get the Primal Fangtus, then you have Primal Fangtus plus triple Fangtus to secure the next All Prime, and then that's GG. Now you have to play against the Primal Fangtus, and you lose your opportunity to get the triple Fangtus, so overall, not ideal, and maybe a little bit over eager for the Dusk side to actually try to finish the game on that push. If it wasn't an Iggy at defense, I would say like sure, go for it. But Iggy currently is way too strong at depushing for you to be able like to do this kind of play without having any form of prime buff, to be able to buff your own minions, to resist to the damage of the Molotov, the oil spill, all those good like very strong clear time. And here you can see Morose trying to find something. He was very close, didn't like hesitate too long, but wasn't good enough. So now we're gonna like keep setting up the wave, as you can see, but here we're getting chased. So as you see, like he doesn't like step forward because he don't want to get cut off from his teammate. Like it's still like the enemy team still has Primal Fangtus. So that was here in those situations, it's very important to just like gain time. You don't want to really like force things too fast, because like if you kind of kept the stalemate, you're gonna be in a good spot. Fortunately here for Morose, the Decker missed the stasis bomb, otherwise Morose would have been forced to flash away. And here we're just like waiting. Tranquility kind of kept everyone healthy. Enemy team is trying like to enter into the R prime. We do have the Kalari like jumping up aggressively, but has to be careful. She's getting kind of low on mana. So the Kalari is probably going to have a problem. And as you can see here, we're just like buying time. We're not really looking at an engage unless we have a very good spot. And we're just like capturing information. And once again, we don't want the wave to be like pushed back. So we're going to push back the wave. Here, the enemy Kalari apparently like misstep, try to go a little bit aggressive and get killed. And here we're gonna flash into smash and grab into Waller challenge. And once again, like we see the power of a Grux when the flash is up. And here we're gonna like chase that carry. And as you can see here, we took a lot of damage, but it wasn't enough. And through that play, like of course we get the Kalari pick, but then Morose is looking for a nice engage, and you can see like the power of the engage with the flash, and that ended up being a surrender or the minion that actually killed the core. And that's how you can actually like dominate as a Grux.